welcome back to Season 6, Episode 3 of Sports Talk. I'm your host, Lily Yepes.
And I'm Tyler Steinberg.
On this episode, Peter Horchuk will be filling us in on the poor treatment and controversies about the NFL cheerleaders, but it wouldn't be a Sports Talk without a Manno Minute.
Of course it wouldn't, Lily. But we also will be shining light on our award-winning Kickline team, along with a glimpse of the cheer team.
You know what, Tyler? I think that our Kickline team might be one of our most overlooked sports here at Mepham.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that there's, again, a lot of teams that go into every successful team, no matter the sport. But I think that one big thing that goes is the effort that you have on and off, and then also really the dedication, the will and the grind that you want to go on to make sure that you get to where you want to get at. So that's a big thing.
I know those girls, they practice genuinely all year round. They practice throughout the summer, and I think they only have a few months off, like towards the end of the year. I feel like no other sports really do that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they also get the opportunities too, things like football games, basketball games. They go to a lot of the Mepham sporting events and also have competitions outside of school.
Exactly.
So that's another thing that kind of factors into it that gives them that experience that they're looking for when obviously the time comes in March for nationals.
Yeah. So not only do they do football games, they do basketball games, but then they have competitions, and then they have their one big competition.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, that's that golden star at the end of the tunnel that you always want to get at for really any team. You want to make sure that you're able to get to nationals. That's the big prize. So, you know, I mean, everyone here at Mepham sees that they're working extremely hard, and they're not going to sleep until they figure out that, hey, we're going to get a chance to go to the nationals and hopefully can take it home.
Exactly, and even to do all that, they do car washes and like the Applebee's fundraisers and just fundraisers all the time to make sure that they are able to accomplish all that they do, which I feel like a lot of teams don't.
Yeah, I mean, you know, so not everyone is able to do that, but the cool thing is not only does it help raise money for the team that you are on, but it also is a good chance to bond as a team. You know, you get to know people better, and you don't got to worry about problems in the team. I mean, that's something that not everyone talks about, but I mean, that happens more often than not. But you know, you get to see that these players, they all get to bond with each other, they get familiar with each other, and it just makes the whole team be able to play better.
Especially with being with each other all year. I feel like you have to, you know, like each other, and that builds a close relationship.
Yeah, I agree with you. After hearing all of that, let's get an inside look on the busy life from junior Elana Hechtman.
Hello and welcome to this month's The View, where we get to sit down with Mepham athletes and get a player's inside scoop on our sports teams. Today I'm joined with junior Elana Hechtman from the Mepham Kickline team. So Elana, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Lily. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for coming and for being here.
I'm happy to be here.
So can you walk us through your season? When in the school year do you guys start your practices, end practices, and your competitions and all of that?
So our season basically runs throughout the entire year. We start doing prep clinics and open gyms around April and May. Then we have tryouts in the beginning of June. And then we start practices late June, early July, and they go all throughout the summer until September when our regular season practices start. And those run up until all the way until the first week of March when we have nationals.
So you guys go all throughout the summer and all throughout the year?
Yes.
Okay. That's crazy because not many other teams besides track, and only a few committed, like, really track players do that.
And, like, it's our whole team. Like, we all are committed to going every week.
Every week. So what makes Mepham Kickline so successful each year?
I think what really makes us so successful is we truly are a family. Like, I know a lot of people say that, but our team really is, and we do rely on each other a lot. Like, when we do everything, we know it's for the person who's standing right next to us, and we work hard for each other.
So it's not individualized? Like, you don't ever feel like, okay, I'm working hard, but this person isn't?
No, we always are like, wow, like, we all are working as a collective to go to be successful.
That's amazing, and that's something that you're going to take, like, out of high school. You're going to remember, like, wow, like, I remember how close I was with those girls,
Yes,
you know?
and it's also going to teach me so many lessons for life.
Exactly. So, Elana, I also know that you're quite involved in the community along with your academics. So, can you walk us through a typical day in your life?
Yes, so my days are pretty hectic. I go to school like everyone else, and then in between school and Kickline, I usually spend my time either at a club meeting, like for Student Gov or for Leo, or I spend my time at extra help for something. And then I go to Kickline, and then from Kickline, I usually go home, eat, and then go to dance, and then do my homework from there.
Yeah, so it's a very long day.
Yes, very long.
And a lot of athletes, like basketball players, like they go to basketball practice and sometimes they'll have like sports after. Like I know I go to softball practice during the season and then softball after softball, but you have that all year long.
Yes, it's like there's no set season. It's just the entire school year, that's what you're doing.
Yeah, that's crazy because that's a lot.
Yeah.
So what is something about Mepham Kickline that most people don't know but they should?
So I think everyone knows that we're pretty involved in the community, but I feel like a lot of people don't understand how much really effort and practice we are putting in every week. Like we have four practice days every week, and then on competition weeks we have 5 days for 3.5 hours each night. And it's just, and choreography we'll have 8-hour days on the weekends.
Wow.
And we're the entire year, so we are just putting that in for constantly.
So what does a normal practice look like for you guys?
We usually start off by stretching for about 15 minutes. Then we do drills with like kicks and technique. And then for like the last like hour and a half, we usually will just drill a specific dance and clean it until we just can't clean it anymore.
So that's very like repetitive, but that means like, that shows all that you guys do, but I feel like most people don't know that like that's what your practice consists of all year long.
Yes, like, and we are just constantly doing that to make ourselves better.
And that's why you guys are so successful. So what does this season look like? But do you have any idea what the future of Meplin Kickline will look like?
So this season we still have like about 7 more basketball games to do, and then we have 6 local competitions before we head to nationals the first week of March. And I really do think that we have a very good chance of being successful. Our coach, Miss Dennis, has said that this is probably one of the most talented teams that she's had. And we really take that to heart, but we also she always says that we refuse to get complacent and we're just keep gonna work. So I think we can really have a shot at being very successful this year. And in terms for the future, I really have a lot of hope for the future because after, like every grade after my grade that has come in has just been so talented, and the talent just keeps growing as they come in, and they're all so hardworking and have the best work ethic, especially due to the amazing senior role models that we have that the underclassmen can look up to, and I just think it's just going to get better and better.
That's amazing. That's so comforting to know that you have one more year here, but the quality of the team won't decrease. It's only going to increase. So were you on that team when you guys won the national
I was
championship?
not. That was the year before my grade came in.
Okay. So do the girls ever talk about that? Like,
yes, they do, and it always just makes us more and more inspired because now we officially have like only a quarter of the team was on that team.
Yeah.
So the majority of us were not, and we just want to join them, and we work so hard because we know that we have the potential of being like that too.
Okay. So you guys all want to be on the same page, so that's what you're going for.
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome. So thank you for filling us in and joining me here on the show today, Elana. I hope you guys bring home another national championship. That's all for The View. Now back to you, Tyler.
Thanks, Lily. You know, I think that'd be really good for Kickline.
I think you would be too, so I think that you should go and talk to Miss Dennis, and I'm sure she would get a kick out of you.
That was awful. That was terrible. Like, really, really bad. 0 stars out of 10.
You pretty much set yourself up for that when I had to do it.
Was that the only joke you could have thought of? I mean, come on.
Well, I know our Kickline girls are full of jokes, so let's check out our Kickline and cheer mic'd up.
I don't want them watching me. I feel awkward. Dad said to be mic'd up because I'm going to lose it in 2 seconds.
Minus 15 points. Do your chains hang low, do they bobble to the floor? Can you tie him in a knot? Can you tie him in a bow?
Good for you guys. Good for you guys. Let's go. Ouch. Oh, my kneecap.
Get ready.
Young girl, I'm gonna eat it.
Do it.
I've just been going. I got no filter. Yes, double cheeseburger. You're right, that is from McDonald's. All right. Shine. Let's not talk. It's just gonna be me breathing loud.
People don't know where they're supposed to be standing right now. This is not a new dance.
Tighter, 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 tighter. Center. And so close, so close, so close, so close. What is this space? Oh, sugar. Wait. Peppermint hot chocolate. You could just get a peppermint hot chocolate. Yeah. Haley goes. Oh my God.
Walking in, a huge gust of wind. He had an iced coffee, takes Mr. G's straw to places unknown. I don't know where it went. I told him I couldn't save it, so I was sorry.
Oh gosh, I gotta do my aerial full out right now.
Exciting. Arms at your sides. We
paid $9 at Guap Shop. Guap Shop. Younger, I can't.
I went to Starbucks, and Starbucks had no lids today.
I thought you looked pretty in sync with it. No. Let's all give ourselves a pat on the back for that one. Good for you.
Frog.
I forgot about the frog dissection. Gross.
You have to forget it, and Gab has to show you the pictures. I pulled off a head.
Okie dokie. I was like, ma'am, I can't go back with 9 cups of coffee. I'm one person.
No one ever thinks my laugh is fake because it's too, like, I would never fake a laugh that sounds like that. I gotta lick my shoe. Whenever you're done on
I'm sweating and shaking.
What do you mean we have a basketball game this week?
Girls, it's turning into a 3-ring circus. Let's get into our spots.
Yes. Let me get my knee pads.
Is anyone else gonna need their knee pads?
I thought I was gonna get detention if I was late or something.
You're like really lucky I have a microphone on right now because I'm not happy.
Hi, B&B.
I love mic'd up, but I can't believe that it's been a year since the first episode aired.
I know. I feel like it was just last year that I was editing the first episode, and I was terrified if anyone would even like it.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy, Lily. Now, let's move on and talk about NFL cheerleaders. I know that you're not a big football person. We saw that in the last Sports Talk episode. But what's your take on the NFL cheerleaders and situation around them?
So the only thing I know is that the football players, they play in the snow sometimes. So, and the cheerleaders are there too. I can't imagine how cold those poor girls are in those little outfits, like in the snow.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's definitely not easy. And even the football players that have, you know, the pounds of padding and then the sleeves that they have and the things that they rub on their skin, they're still extremely cold. And you see the fans all the time. They got 3 sweatshirts on top of the jerseys. And yeah, it's definitely hard. It's not easy, but you know, at least they're still able to do it, and they still always put a good performance on for the fans.
Just like we talked about with our Kickline girls, they have to learn multiple dances. They practice all year round, and it's the same with those cheerleaders. And they only make, I think, around 158 games. That's like 22,000 and change, like a year, for all the work that they do. I think that's crazy.
Yeah, I appreciate that human walking calculator, but you know, still, I give you credit. That's not easy math to do, but yeah, I mean, you know, it's definitely not easy what they do, but again, it makes the overall football game experience better, and really any sports team that you go to, stuff like halftime shows and pregame shows, all that stuff, they just overall make it a better experience for the fans.
I agree. So as long, I think I never even thought about it that way, that they add that extra like exciting and like energy. But I think that those cheerleaders, just like our Kickline team, need to be more in the light and all the hard work that they do.
Let's hear what Peter has to say about these cheerleaders on this month's Sports Breakdown. NFL cheerleaders. You see them with a smile on their face cheering on from the sideline. Is it all as happy as it seems? Unfair treatment, lower pay, and pressure can have a big impact on mental health. Many cheerleaders have filed lawsuits due to having to pay thousands of dollars for uniforms and beauty routines. They're even paid under minimum wage for the long hours they put in for practices and games. Many other cheerleaders have reported a toxic environment. This can be completely not enjoyable for the cheerleaders. On top of this, many have to work more jobs while having tons of practices. Is it worth it to just be treated terribly? Cheerleaders should ask themselves if it's worth to be paid under minimum wage and work in a toxic environment. The NFL has a history of unfair treatment, and in my opinion, change is needed. I'm Peter Harchek, and this has been Sports Breakdown.
Thanks, Peter. I'm glad that we're talking about issues like this.
I agree, Lily, but I'm sure now that we're talking about these kinds of cases popping up all over the world, people will start making changes for the future generations.
I'm confident they are, and I think that it's really important that our generation, that we use our voice.
I agree. Although it's the holiday season, we can't forget about one of the biggest events of the year.
The World Cup.
You know who probably has watched every single game of the World Cup this year?
It could only be our very own Matt Manno.
I think you forgot someone. Finnegan Corcoran Doolin, of course.
Of course.
That's exactly who I was thinking of. I don't know about you again, with Matt Manno, but still, they both definitely have binge watched him.
100%.
But, again, let's send it over to the only person who can talk about the world's biggest event in, well, only 60 seconds. Manno, take it away.
I'm Matt Manno, back with the fastest minute in sports. Let's start the clock. Here at B&B, we love the World Cup. So much so that we put on games during class without Mr. Stein's knowledge or consent. Sorry. But I'm a fashion nerd, specifically jerseys, so I wanted to talk about some of the kits of this year's teams. Some have been great, like the games themselves, but others have been atrocities. Let's start with the English. These kits are good, but I would have preferred to see the color of your flag on your primary jersey. So I give it a 7 out of 10. Switzerland and Puma drop some really unique kits, and unless you've ever seen a calendar before, never mind. These Japanese jerseys right here are my favorite in the entire World Cup. They're collaborating with the anime Blue Lock, but unlike the anime, the numbers are yellow and seemingly have no connection. I'd make them black to match the colors of Team Z. Next up is Mexico's kit. This is gorgeous, but they never wore them, and the tournament is worth for it. And now the good old US of A. So your fans come into Qatar chanting, "It's called soccer," and then your team comes in dressed up like they're ready to catch passes from Mac Jones or Daniel Jones. But either way, they don't need to. But can any of them call offensive plays? That's all from me. I went overtime for the second month in a row. I'm Matt Manno. Now back to Tyler and Lily in the studio.
Thanks, Manno. And that would just about wrap up another episode of the Season Sports Talk.
Make sure you tune in to our award-winning live broadcast games and check out the B&B YouTube page.
That's all for us, and we'll see you next month.
Happy holidays from our B&B family to yours.
Tyler, what is that?
It's the new look, you know what I'm saying?
It's not even a holiday hat.
Your bottom, you don't remember it. Come on. I was excited.